Hello guys, today we are going to see some easy steps to develop a simple game, sprites and physics. Okay guys, we create a new project using Unity Hub. So create new, since we are going to use sprites and physics, so just select 2D and game to sprites. Okay, so create a new game. Here now we're going to create the new project and make sure you choose 2D. Oh yeah, we have our Unity with main camera sample scene. Before you do any changes, please save the scene as scene. Sprites or anything, you can give any name. Okay, make sure your scene is saved under the assets file. Okay, now you have your scene, then sprites into Unity platform. So this is my sprites. So the first is the platform 1, second is platform 2. Okay, so this is my sprite. So once you drag in to Unity, the Unity by default will change it, the JPEG format, the texture type into the sprite 2D and user interface. So don't worry about that. So it will by default the Unity help the user to change the platform into sprites and user interface. So the next step is drag and drop your sprites into scene. So you can use or you can arrange how the game you want it look like. So no worries about that. It's up to your creativity. Even you can do more blocks or more sprites. It's just for the video matter. I'll just stick to this. Okay, game. Alright, so we can change that by clicking our player sprite and looking over the right to the window called inspector. This is where we can change the properties for our game objects. So here you see add component, choose add component and then choose physics 2D, then rigid 2D body. So this would be incredibly difficult for us to do on our own. Find the constraint here, here, and click on the freeze on rotation X with the player selected. Means this is should be selected and select free rotation Z. So now you can check whether the dropping is happening. Yes, it is happening, but the box pass through the block and fall down. Okay, to stop that we have to add the collider to our platform. Choose your player, click add component and this time select physics 2D box collider. So do the same thing to other platforms. Go to add component, physics 2D box collider. See, now you can play and check whether so now the your player is not falling down from the platform. When it collides it stops. Okay, so it is working. So the next thing is one more thing to make sure that the camera follow. our player, whether they are falling or moving. We want to drag the camera object that in the scene. This is was created when you started the new project. So on the top of the player. Okay. Now in the hierarchy list, and you are going to drag the camera under the player. Okay, the camera is a child to our player, meaning that when the player moves, so the camera will move along with the player. Okay, so we are going to get our first script now. Go to asset, create folder, create scripts folder, get into the script folder, create C# script and call it as player controls. You can just double click it to open in Visual Studio. So just double click on it. This is the basic fundamental scripts, but now we have to add new object with this void start. Okay, public rigid body 2D RB, and then start is a method that is executed as soon as new object or script is created. So locate the physics object. So for that, go to void start, get component rigid body 2D, then go to void update, then new vector 2 1 RB point velocity point Y. Okay, you can save the script and go to Unity. Okay, you can check the scripts by clicking the play if there is any changes. Okay, this is because we are still not attached the script to the object. So save that script and go back to Unity. Click your player character, then in the inspector select add component script player control, and then select the player controller, click play. So now your character should be able to move. Create a new empty game object, rename it as check ground, then make it a child of the player just like you did for the main camera. Select the player again, the inspector, drag the new check ground, make sure public class name and the name you save your script is same, otherwise it won't able to detect the script in Unity. See, now we have the player control. Okay, now on the ground check, drag and drop the check ground into the ground check. Then ground check radius 0.1. Select the platform 1, change the layer as ground to, and the third platform as ground. Okay, then you go to your player, the player, and check what is ground, select ground. Now you can save your game and test the game by clicking play. See, so on click it will not touch on the platform. So that's it for sprite game for the beginners.